Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Let me paint you a picture. Two of the most hyped prospects in recent Red Sox history, both carved from the same mold, both arriving with the kind of fanfare that gets New England buzzing through the coldest February nights. And yet right now, as spring training heats up down in Florida, these two guys couldn't be living more different realities. One of them is being handed the keys to the kingdom. The other one is being told he hasn't even earned the right to walk through the front door yet. Welcome back to Red Sea Radio, and today we are diving deep into the wildly contrasting worlds of Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer. Because trust me, this story is a whole lot more dramatic than your morning sports ticker is letting on. Let's start with the good news, because honestly, if you're a Red Sox fan, Roman Anthony's situation right now should have you absolutely buzzing. Earlier this week, manager Alex Cora made it official. Roman Anthony is your 2026 Boston Red Sox leadoff hitter. Now, look, if you've been paying any attention at all, this was about as surprising as snow in February in New England. Cora had been telegraphing this move for weeks, dropping hints left and right, talking lovingly about his history with elite leadoff guys like George Springer, Mookie Betts, and Kyle Schwarber. But just because something is expected doesn't mean it isn't monumental, because make no mistake about it, this decision is massive for the direction of this franchise. Here's why. Roman Anthony, in the leadoff role last season, was not just good. He was otherworldly. In 31 games hitting first in the lineup, this kid posted a 336 batting average, a 439 on-base percentage, and a 564 slugging percentage for an OPS of over 1.03. For those of you who need that translated, that's a 166 OPS plus, meaning he was 66% better than your average major league hitter when hitting leadoff. 66%. That's not a prospect showing flashes of potential. That's a generational talent announcing himself to the entire baseball world in no uncertain terms. And it wasn't just the flashy numbers either. Of his 8 home runs last season, 6 of them came while hitting leadoff. 17 of his 29 RBIs came from that spot in the lineup. Now yes, before the stat nerds in the comments start going crazy, we're talking about a 30-game sample size. Everyone in the building knows you can't extrapolate 30 games over 162. But what those 30 games told the Red Sox organization is something they simply couldn't ignore. This kid is built for this role. He doesn't shrink from the moment. He expands to fill it. And so now, here we are. Roman Anthony, 21 years old, walking into 2026 as the tone setter for the entire Boston Red Sox offense. Not eased in, not protected, not given a soft landing. The Red Sox are essentially saying, here's the wheel, kid, drive. And that's a statement in itself. This organization is not interested in slow playing their best asset anymore. They tried the cautious approach last year, starting him in the minors despite a blazing spring, and it cost them precious months of elite production. They're not making that mistake twice. Now, there is one concern that keeps popping up in conversations around Red Sox Nation, and it's worth addressing head-on. Some fans are worried that putting Roman in the leadoff spot limits his RBI opportunities. After all, with an offense that doesn't exactly have a lineup full of 40 home run hitters lurking behind him, doesn't it make more sense to slot your best bat somewhere in the heart of the order where he can do the most damage with runners on base? It's a fair question. But here's the thing. The numbers don't actually support the panic. When you break down Anthony's RBI rate per game, rather than just the raw totals, his leadoff games were still his most productive from an RBI standpoint. He was still driving in runs from the top of the lineup at an impressive clip, even without the benefit of inherited runners. More importantly, think about what Roman Anthony at the top of this lineup does for everyone else hitting behind him. The guy had nearly a 400 on-base percentage last season. He is going to be on base constantly. He is going to make life easier for Rafael Devers, for Trevor Story, for Danny Jansen, for every single guy in that lineup who now gets to bat with runners already in scoring position far more often. Think about what Alex Cora himself said. He loves what a great leadoff hitter does for the soul of an offense. Springer did it. Betts did it. Schwarber led the league in runs scored doing it. Roman Anthony is built in that exact same mold. He scores runs. He creates chaos on the base paths. He forces pitchers to work harder before the heart of your order even steps to the plate. This is the ripple effect that doesn't show up in a box score, but absolutely defines winning baseball. Roman Anthony leading off doesn't just make Roman Anthony better, it makes the entire Red Sox offense better, and that is exactly why Alex Cora made this call, and why, frankly, it was never really a call at all. It was an inevitability. But now we pivot. Because while Roman Anthony is busy being crowned the Prince of Fenway, his longtime prospect counterpart Marcelo Mayer is over in a completely different corner of the spring training facility, dealing with a situation that has portions of Red Sox Nation reaching for the panic button. And honestly, if you've been on social media the last few days, you've seen the discourse. People are losing their minds, and while some of the concern is understandable, a lot of it is the kind of knee-jerk overreaction that tends to happen when fans have too much time on their hands and not enough actual baseball to watch. Here's what we know. Alex Cora, when asked about Marcelo Mayer's path to the opening day roster, said something that sent shockwaves through the fan base. He said, and this is the quote that everyone has been dissecting, "With Marcelo, we'll give him the baton, but he has to run. If he wants to be the starting second baseman, there's a lot of work to do." It's not a given that he's a second baseman or third baseman for this team. There's a lot of things he needs to show us this spring. On top of that, Mayer hasn't appeared in a single spring training game yet, while everyone else is out there getting reps. Put those two things together and you can see why the internet started spiraling. But slow down. Take a breath. Because there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for why Marcelo Mayer hasn't been in game action, and it has nothing to do with the Red Sox losing confidence in him. According to Mayer himself, he's been managing his wrist recovery carefully, going through live batting practice sessions and working off the trajector machine before being cleared for full game action. The Red Sox are simply being cautious with a guy who has dealt with significant injury history, making sure every box is checked before they throw him into the fire of competitive spring training games. This is not a red flag. This is a medical staff doing their jobs properly. And as for Cora's comments, look, there are two ways to read what he said, and only one of them makes any real sense when you look at the full picture. You could read it as the organization telegraphing that they've lost faith in Mayer and are actively exploring other options at second base. Or, and this is the read that actually holds up under scrutiny, you could recognize it for what it almost certainly is. A veteran manager using the media to light a fire under a young player who needs to be challenged rather than coddled. Not every player responds the same way to pressure. Some guys need to feel loved and confident to unlock their best performance. Others need to feel like their backs are against the wall, like nothing is guaranteed, like they have to claw and fight for every single opportunity in order to truly elevate their game. Alex Cora has built his entire managerial reputation on knowing exactly which approach each individual player needs. He's not guessing here. He's managing. And in Marcelo Mayer's case, the evidence suggests that a little competitive fire, a little sense of urgency, might be exactly what this kid needs to step into his potential. Think about what happened last spring. Mayer was absolutely torching the ball in spring training, putting up numbers that should have made him a lock for the opening day roster. The Red Sox sent him to AAA anyway, went with Christian Campbell at second base, and watched that decision not exactly pan out the way they'd hoped. Maybe this time around, Cora wants to make sure Mayer knows that spring training performance isn't just a formality. It actually matters. That earning the job actually means something. And maybe after last year's experience, Mayer himself needs to hear that his spot isn't locked in just because his name is Marcelo Mayer. Here's the other thing that should calm everyone down a little bit. When Cora laid out his projected opening day lineup recently, the one featuring all the major leaguers not headed to the World Baseball Classic, he specifically noted that the lineup from 1 through 7 was pretty much set, with second base being the one position still very much open for competition. Not gone, not decided, open. Marcelo Mayer is very much in the conversation. He's just being told he has to compete for what he wants, and there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, what we're looking at here is a fascinating and genuinely unexpected contrast between two players who have been linked together since they were both lighting up minor league box scores. Roman Anthony is stepping into his coronation, being handed the most important individual role in the Red Sox offense with the full confidence of the organization behind him. And Marcelo Meyer is being handed a challenge. Go prove it, earn it, show us you deserve to be here. Both approaches are deliberate, both approaches are calculated, and both in their own way reflect exactly what this Red Sox organization is trying to build. One guy gets to be the face. The other one has to fight to be in the picture at all. That's baseball. That's spring training. And somehow, someway, both of these stories are going to come together when the real games start in April. The question is whether Marcelo Meyer can answer the bell when it rings, and whether Roman Anthony can sustain what everyone in Boston believes he's capable of sustaining over the long haul of a full major league season. This is going to be one of the most compelling storylines of the 2026 Red Sox season, and it's only February. We haven't even thrown a single pitch that counts yet. So buckle up, Red Sox Nation, because this ride is just getting started. Now, here's what I want from you. Drop into the comments right now and tell me, does the Marcelo Meyer situation have you worried, or are you buying the Alex Cora challenge narrative? And where do you think Meyer lines up on opening day? Starting second baseman, AAA, or somewhere in between? Let's get that debate going because I read every single comment and I love hearing where you guys stand on this. If this video gave you something to think about or fired you up in any way, do me a solid and smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this channel and keeps Red Sox content coming almost every single day. And if you're new here and somehow stumbled onto Red Sea Radio for the first time today, welcome home. Hit that subscribe button and join the family because we are just getting warmed up as spring training rolls on. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the red seats.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.